A preliminary investigation into a mysterious pneumonia outbreak in China has been identified as a previously unknown coronavirus. For more on this and other news from around the world.
New developments in China's coronavirus outbreak. 2 major cities are now under lockdown.
That major lockdown in Italy.
Broadway has gone dark.
The 2020 Summer Olympics, now the latest major sports cancellation.
NBA is suspending the season.
Major League Baseball will in fact suspend all operations indefinitely.
Masters has officially been postponed at the
NCAA has made the decision to cancel the men's and women's tournament.
The NHL just announcing that they are pausing the season.
Tom Hanks announcing overnight that he and wife Rita Wilson are both infected.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
They're declaring a national emergency.
This is truly an unprecedented situation.
This virus doesn't discriminate. It attacks everyone.
I want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead.
The coronavirus has changed life as we know it across America.
So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're all living in unprecedented times right now. My generation and even the generation above me really haven't had to live through a period of this much isolation and uncertainty of contracting a deadly virus when it comes to going to the grocery store or just going out for a walk. But I kind of just wanted to document, what I've seen come out of COVID-19 and just kind of tell the story, through my lens. A seemingly ordinary 23-year-old here living in the Rio Grande Valley. I kind of just wanted to open that book up and just kind of tell everything that I've seen in my perspective and when it comes to, the good and the bad that's come out of COVID-19. And more specifically, when it comes to mental clarity, physical clarity, emotional clarity, and spiritual clarity in this time of the pandemic. And I think at the end of the day, I just kind of want to leave a sense of hope, of understanding that we are going to get past this. And although there has been bad, the good has certainly outweighed the bad, in my personal opinion, and I hope that doesn't come off as insensitive. But I guess this is, my little documentary of my story of COVID-19 and how I've seen it affect the world and those around me, and how we can truly come together to help each other in those certain aspects that I want to talk about. As we've progressed more into quarantine and just isolation and, slowly as things have begun to open up, I just kind of want to backtrack and just talk about, what's come out of COVID-19 and what I personally have seen that has me thinking that the good has significantly outweighed the bad, as scary and as bad as it seems right now. I just kind of want to talk about the good and the bad. I know it may seem ridiculous to make the statement that I believe the good has outweighed the bad, but I truly believe it. I understand that it's a scary time right now, but I've noticed a lot of little things in and out of having to be quarantined and isolation and having to wear masks and sanitize and all the stuff that we have to do to, keep ourselves safe and those around us in our normal, or what is considered our normal right now. I've noticed a lot of things and the little things of life that have truly made my heart warm. I say that in the manner of the things that I have seen around me and things that I've seen on social media. I truly stand by that statement in the manner that I truly believe there has been a lot of light within the darkness during this pandemic. Above all, the one thing that I want to point out that has occurred that is bad is the loss of life that has transpired because of this disease. I think nothing is worse than the loss of a life, so that's why I'm only gonna attribute that to what bad has happened. I'm sure there's a lot of things that have occurred, when it comes to like unemployment and people being laid off. And I sympathize and I understand all those situations, and I don't want to desensitize those situations. But ultimately, I think the worst thing that has come out of this whole situation is the fact that people have lost their lives. People who were mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, wives. Like it truly makes my heart hurt knowing that we have lost those lives. And that's why I'm attributing just the loss of life to the whole being of all the bad that has occurred during this pandemic. Is just the cost of life that has taken a toll upon the world. 10 million have been affected by the virus, and out of those 10 million, 500,000 have perished. And I think it would be naive to say that there is nothing worse than just losing the life of somebody. The good. This is what I am excited to talk about and to document and to just put out into the world, and what I've seen, and I'm sure others have seen. And starting with the appreciation of our healthcare workers. I've seen a lot of people come together and just appreciate our nurses and our doctors, and anybody who works in and out of a medical facility that is helping with COVID patients, and just anybody in that vicinity of just trying to give back as much as they can when it comes to treating and helping with COVID patients in any way. Again, especially our nurses and our doctors, all our healthcare workers. Like, it's been amazing to see people band together and just give them the credit that they deserve. Sometimes we get so busy in our lives, we forget that there's people that are risking their lives when it comes to contracting illnesses, and them having to deal with life and death every single day of their lives when it comes to the job. Like, they chose to do that, and I think it's awesome that we're coming together as a community and as a world to applaud them for what they're doing right now. They're truly at the front lines of everything, so we can't thank them enough for what they're doing right now. Another amazing thing that I've seen happen in the world due to COVID-19 is the fact that our pollution in our air and our ocean has dropped. Ever since we were put into isolation, there was less people on the roads, which caused less pollution with our cars, which led to less car accidents, less deaths related to motor vehicles, and our air is cleaner than it was at the beginning of our isolation, of having to be in quarantine. So that was just another thing that I thought was really, really awesome, is that our beautiful earth was able to breathe from us. I've also seen is the fact that celebrities and million-dollar corporations and just people with the means to spread awareness have been doing so in order to raise money, millions of dollars, for organizations and relief funds that are helping people that are directly affected by COVID-19, whether that's by helping them with hospital bills, or just helping with families that need help putting food on the table or water. It's been awesome to see that happen. People using the status that they have to be able to bring awareness and to raise money for the people that are not only affected directly, by contracting the virus, but are also hurt by, the unemployment caused by COVID-19, and, kids not being able to go to school and receive meals, and just people just bringing awareness and raising money to that is another amazing thing that I've seen during this pandemic. As a creative, another amazing thing that I've seen is people just being able to nurture their creativity during quarantine. just being able to have that time to work on that project, or write that story, or take those pictures that they wanted to take. Just being able to take the time of having to be in quarantine and using that time to express their creative freedom and work on projects that they might not have made the time for before quarantine is another awesome thing that I've seen. Just being able to see people post more content and, you know, just nurture their creativity and work on projects that they've wanted to work on that maybe they didn't have the time to before quarantine. That's just something that I've seen, and it's just been awesome to see that. And one of the final, and for me the most important things that I've seen come out of the repercussions of COVID-19 and having to be inside and limit the exposure of going out to stores and things is the family time that I've been able to have with my family, and that I've been able to see all across social media and other people have, is just that time being able to be spent with their family, you know, playing cards at the table, going outside and going for a walk or a jog, you know, walking their dogs as a family, or just, you know, just generally spending time with your mom, your dad, your siblings. It's just been awesome to see in my life, and I know people around me are thankful for the opportunity, just being able to be in one space and not you know, let their busy lives get in the way of just sitting down and having dinner with your parents or your siblings, or even sometimes, you know, aunts and uncles live in the same household. So it's just been awesome to see that people have been able to just spend more time with their family, and just cherish that time that you have with your family. I want to move on to something a little bit different regarding our time here in isolation when it comes to COVID-19. I just want to begin by talking about physical clarity, and what I mean by that is just how I've been able to help myself during this time grow in a physical way. And physical clarity is basically just a fancy way for me to say physical activity, just to get out and to help clear my mind. So I guess that's where the clarity part comes in. It's just going out for a walk, getting that physical activity by going out for a walk. And for me, it's helped me. You know, I actually started a challenge that has helped me lose around 10 to 15 pounds, just to get out of the house a little bit if I'm butting heads with the people in my household. Sometimes bringing my camera and just taking pictures. It's just the clarity of clearing your mind and just truly being able to give yourself that time just to go outside and appreciate nature, and just truly get the creative juices flowing outside, and just allowing your body to replenish with some sunlight and just with some nature outside. I'm putting all three of these together because I feel like they go hand in hand. Spiritual, mental, and emotional clarity. They go hand in hand, so that's why I'm talking about them simultaneously, because without mental clarity, you can't have emotional clarity, and both of those play into spirituality. Something that I've noticed that has helped during quarantine is just being able to just take time for myself, not having to worry about all the distractions of the world, and just having that time in my room to be one with my thoughts and clear my mind of anything that I need, whether that's by going into some prayer, or opening a book and just reading, just trying to expand my knowledge, and not so much focus on the things that are going on in the world that are negative, but trying to make the most out of the time that I have to nourish my mind in a good way. And in doing so, it's helping, my mental clarity of understanding that there are a lot of things that are not in my control, having to be inside and quarantine is something that I couldn't have prevented myself as a single person. So just understanding that and having that space to understand that has helped me a lot, and I think can help a lot of other people, not just myself. Just being able to understand that a lot of the things that are occurring because of COVID-19 are not necessarily in your control. You can only do so much as a single person, and that just has brought me a lot of peace during this time, and has kept me from deteriorating in any way. I guess that transitions to my emotional health. Everything that I mentioned when it comes to the good that is happening in the world has done a lot for my moral and understanding that there is so much good in this world compared to evil, and good will always win. Good will always outweigh the bad, and I think that's been awesome for my emotional health, just knowing that I'm okay and my family's okay, and there is millions of people across the world that are still okay right now. Not desensitizing myself to those who have been affected, but knowing that since I'm okay and I'm able to emotionally be okay, that I can use that to go and help others who may not be feeling the same, who may be down, who may have fear instilled inside of them, who may be having panic attacks because of everything that's going on. Like, just being able to be ready to help in an emotional manner has brought me a lot of emotional clarity, because the sad part is during quarantine, for some people it's been a lot worse. Suicide rates have gone up a little bit for people having to be locked inside. So it's been a blessing for me to know that my mental or my emotional health haven't taken a toll. So if somebody needs help, I'm able to provide that help in whatever manner that I can, because that's something that I think we need to be wary of, is that some people aren't doing as well as I may be doing, or you may be doing. It's just had them dealing with emotions and their emotions being too much, and has caused them to make a decision where they ultimately take their life. So I think it's important to take that time for yourself to clear your mind and find that mental clarity or that emotional clarity. So if you find yourself having thoughts, or having trouble dealing with thoughts because you're not able to go out, or go on your daily routines as you used to, just to nourish those, and to understand that you can get help in whatever way. If you are okay mentally and emotionally, to just check up on your loved ones and to reach out and make sure that everything is okay with them. As a spiritual guy, my spiritual clarity has truly skyrocketed during this time, and I know a lot of people around me it's the exact opposite. But during this time, my faith has truly been something that has continued to grow, and that I've truly just nourished, and in any way that I can find fit, whether that's listening to worship music, or picking up my guitar, whether it's picking up a book and reading and learning more about theology, or just things that I can do to grow psychologically and emotionally and mentally in my faith, and just being able to nourish my faith in going to daily mass now that it's been opened to the public in some way, and just being able to help at daily mass for me has helped my spiritual clarity. Even though we still have to be limited to wearing a mask and taking precautions by social distancing, it's helped me in that way. And just being able to be in tune with my faith and having my prayer time, whether it's in my prayer corner in my room, or again just picking up my guitar, or just truly listening to worship music, it's just been awesome for my spiritual clarity. And being in quarantine has truly helped me, because it's given me more time to do that, more time than I had already made for it. It can be at night before I'm about to go to bed, and I end up staying up another hour or two, just nourishing myself in whatever way that I can, And that's helped me as far as being able to maintain my spirituality with my faith through Jesus Christ. And it's just been awesome to be able to maintain that and be able to continue to grow in that aspect when it comes to my spiritual clarity. In conclusion, I know that this documentary may have turned out more reflective in the manner that I just kind of talked about what I've seen and what I've been able to do that has helped me when it comes to everything that has come with COVID-19 and being in quarantine and having to take precautions. But I just kind of wanted to go a different route with this documentary because, yes, I could number crunch and I could tell you about everything that's going on with research and things like that, and all that's interesting. But I think we pretty much understand as a society and as humans in this world that this virus is deadly and it can ultimately take somebody's life. And I think it's our responsibility as our neighbors to each other to do the best that we can to prevent somebody losing their life because we were negligent in following, precautions, wearing our mask, and taking precautions when it comes to social distancing and everything that we can do to minimize the spread of this disease. I think it's important that we all lean on each other, and that if I can document what I've seen and hopefully leave a little bit of hope in somebody that's watching this, can truly be something that can help society and those around me, because we're all in this together. There's no I in team, as they say, and I think we all have to lean on each other and to know that everything is going to be okay, that things may get scarier, but as long as we do what we can as individuals, that will truly reflect on what happens within the world. So I just encourage everybody to truly continue to wear a mask and continue to social distance, and don't go out if you don't need to. It can truly be the ultimate decision between somebody's life, and I think that's important to notice and to take into account that yes, we are responsible for ourselves, but I think as each other's brothers and sisters in this world, that we should truly try to lean on each other and keep each other safe, and know that we are going to be okay, and that the day is going to come where we don't have to see this as our normal anymore, that it's going to get better, and that we are going to truly get past this as humans in this world and as people who just truly want to progress in life. Please be safe, and God bless.